All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to another breaking news. We got Bigfoot Anon. I got a lot of stuff on here today. Actually got a lot of stuff. So we're gonna kind of jump right into it. But in honor of President's Day, there is a UFO about a president. But beyond that, there is another channel. Let me see here. Do I have it here? There it is. That I'm gonna recommend you guys checking out after this show. Let me share the screen, and I'll give you a reason why. Let me show here. Let me go in the chat, put this link in there because a good friend of our channel, Connor knows him very well too. Journey to the Other Side has made a video called Paranormal Presidents. Since he just came out with this, I don't want to show it because it's his video. He just came out with it. It'd be like stealing somebody's video a day after it came out. But since it's President's Day, it's paranormal. Maybe after this show, you guys should check it out because he's talking about there's Bigfoots in it, there's UFOs, there's aliens, all dealing with the president. So it's kind of a cool little video you guys should check out. Just wanted to give that a little shout out for anybody who likes paranormal with presidents. Or maybe some hate presidents so much, fuck the presidents. But the question is about the presidents. Why do they want to become president? Is it about the money? Is it about the power? You know, what is it? So I actually found this thing here about how much a president was worth before the president and what are they worth after president. And we're going to see who is in it for the money, who's in it for the power. Now, the first guy is going to be Donald Trump. Now, he came in with $3 billion. He's going to be hurt a lot because a lot of people abandon him and all that. I'm not saying if you're for him or not, but it's kind of an interesting little thing for President's Day. I'll kind of show this real quick, and then we'll go right into the Bigfoot stuff. Now, Donald Trump became president. He was, according to this, he was worth $3 billion, and now he's worth $2.3 billion. Okay, $2.3 billion, $3 billion, you're a fucking billionaire. I'm not going to cry over him losing some money, losing endorsements because how he acted as president. Now, this is not a Republican or Democrat thing, so get the politics part out of it. So now this is a phenomenon that somebody loses money. So take him out. Let's look at Barack Obama. He was worth $1.3 million, and after he became president, he's worth $70 million. I say he becoming president did him well. George W. Bush was worth $20 million, and after he was president, he was worth $40 million. Now that's kind of weird because President Bush did own the Texas baseball team, so I don't know where all that money went. You know, owning a baseball team ain't no chump change. But I don't know. According to this, he gained an extra $20 million. Okay, so let's go to another president here. Bill Clinton was worth $1.3 million, and he is worth $241.5 million. Okay, now what's weird about that is we went through this Me Too movement where everybody was, you know, this guy, fuck, you know, for good reasons. Well, during the Me Too movement, President Bush was doing college speeches, was getting paid like $5-6 million. I wonder how come he wasn't abandoned after the Me Too movement. Why does this guy still get a free pass where if myself or Connor gets accused of something, we're probably dead in the water. But not Slick Willie. Slick Willie, he gets to move on to $1.3 million, $241 million. God damn. George Bush, the father, was worth $4 million. He is worth $23 million after. Now, of course, he dies. It probably went to George Bush and all their kids. Ronald Reagan, 10.6, only 15.4, but he didn't live like super long after he was president. So you know, he didn't have that opportunity to get the money coming. He was losing his mind. He had that whatever, you know. I mean, he did get shot in the head by a crazy guy who was in love with, I forgot who he was in love with. But Jimmy Carter, 2.3 million. He was worth $10 million. Okay. Gerald Ford, 1.4 million, $7 million. Now, remember, these are back in the day, so that's a big jump. So let's see here. Let me see if anybody else is on here. Richard Nixon, $2 million, $15 million. Even after he got caught cheating, jumped out, still made money. So Lyndon Johnson, $14 million to $20 million. Huey Truman, just inflation, six figures, but he died during presidency and all that. So, I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, look at this one. Back in this day for inflation, Theodore Roosevelt, 1.3 million to 100 million.
This one's my first president we've mentioned yet. I've had nothing for any of the other guys, but Teddy, heck yeah. The first one, you know, he was fighting for us for a while, but as of recent, he's threw in the white towel, went to the other side.
Now, Andrew Jackson, unknown, 132 million. Thomas Jefferson, I don't know what really happened here, but according to this, he was worth 240 million after inflation, and he went broke. Crimea River. And then George Washington, before was unknown, but adjusted for inflation is worth 525 million. So why do people want to become president? Because you set yourself up pretty well for the rest of your life. They do a speech at a college and they get paid $5 to $6 million. A book deal, $3 to $10 million. I mean, it's all about the money, people. It's all about the money. The only one who really wanted the power was Donald Trump, because he was already worth over billions of dollars. He didn't need another dollar.
Yeah, he actually didn't even accept his presidential pay for all the years he was in office. But so that's pretty interesting. But again, all of them go to the same family tree. Yep. It is orchestrated. Voting is a joke. The establishment is a joke. I believe in community, guys.
Yep.
But maybe we have to play by their rules and infiltrate their system and, rid it from the inside. But we will see.
So if you don't think about the money, people, it is about the money. I'm sorry. It is about the money. Why do you want to become president? Oh, I want to help people. Yeah, right. It's about making sure you have security for the rest of your life. You can get in trouble like Slick Willie, and you'll come out bigger and more money than any other president. It's freaking amazing. It's really amazing. But beyond that, let's get into the Bigfoot world. Okay, people, there's sometimes in life you can't make shit up. You can't make shit up. I'm going to show you guys something. This ain't nothing super crazy, but a lot of you know I have a Reddit page. And let me share this first screen on my Reddit page for a second. And okay, my account has been suspended for 2 days on my Reddit page. It was technically 3 days, but now it's 2 days. So what that means is I can't post anything on my own Reddit page. I can't even do comments or nothing. Nothing. Because another community has made a complaint. Because I posted a video of the Young Guns Part 2, where they at in the community, on my channel. I guess it was considered fake news or something. And I can't make this shit up. Because I can't make this shit up, guys. I gotta show you this. The channel, important notification about your account. Your account has been suspended for 3 days. The channel that put me in suspension for 3 days is the Bigfoot channel. A Bigfoot channel. Dude, I can't make this shit up. A Bigfoot channel made my channel banned for 2-3 days. I mean, that's... I try to make this shit up, guys, and I can't make this shit up. Of all communities that I think I try to represent the Bigfoot community very well. Connor represents the Bigfoot community very well. And it's the Bigfoot channel that got my Reddit page suspended for 2 days. Because I posted a video about the Young Guns on my channel. And then it was considered not real news or manipulating the public.
Wait a minute. You got yours kicked off while all these other fuckers have theirs still on there.
Yes.
Bob. Yours is more authentic, and we use more science and logic than anybody other platform out there. We use science and logic.
I'm just
more than any channel.
I'm just telling you can't make this shit up.
Oh my God.
It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. You just can't not make this shit
If it was stolen guns, I would understand. But Young Gun, come on, man. We had the Young Gun sequel going full strong, but I think it's because you pulled out that we actually had 5,000 views, and they always showed 200. I think they just didn't like being outed like that, so they just suspended you. But we're just gonna keep breaking barriers and breaking these old timers down one kneecap at a time if they're gonna try to stand.
One kneecap at a time.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, only reason I brought that up is it's like you just can't make that shit up. Like, of all channels that want to knock me down, that I think we represent the community very well. You know how you grow a community is by trying to grow your own channel, by growing the community. Because I'm telling you, people like Connor, Bob, myself, we watch more than one channel on YouTube and all their stuff. We probably watch maybe 4 to 5 channels.
God, I watch hundreds, man.
And, you're not locked into just one channel, people. You can watch multiple channels. So when you grow the community, there's a good chance they're going to find your channel and they're going to subscribe to you.
Yeah, I always thumb up a lot of independent channels, really small sub people, quality. I mean, good information, and they're just stuck. Like something has stuck them. They're so good, and that's why I feel bad, because they are that good. And whatever the algorithm is saying, whoa, he's hitting too close to home on this one. Let's keep him low. Let's keep her low.
Now, the search video I'm going to show is basically about how companies using drones now, using drones to help search for Bigfoot. So this is called Lenexa company drone joins travel channel search for Bigfoot. So using hold on. Okay, that's my fault. Here we go.
State-of-the-art technology and mythical creatures aren't two terms usually used together.
Yeah, a Lenexa-based software company was approached by the Travel Channel to use their one-of-a-kind drone to track down Bigfoot. They, too, were surprised. KCTV5's Abigail James explains.
We're a team of experts.
Some people will go to great lengths to track down the elusive Sasquatch.
We thought, okay, this is a little wild.
Oh my God.
And being recruited to help with the job was the last thing Digital Aerolis Director of Operations Jameson Huckabee expected would happen.
Okay, fly into this cave and see if you can find anything. See if they're connected. See if Bigfoot is in there.
What the hell have we just found? The Travel Channel's new show, Expedition Bigfoot, takes a team of survivalists, scientists, and researchers into an Oregon forest in hopes of locating the cryptid creature.
The whole purpose of the show is to find Bigfoot with a technological bent, using the latest and greatest tools.
So the drone company stepped up to the challenge.
So the theory was that Bigfoot was hiding in these series of interconnected caves. And we were exploring the caves to collect evidence, see if we could find any recent ideas of, is Bigfoot living in these, where is he, what is he doing, etc.
Now, the reason producers of this show specifically chose their drone is because, unlike most drones, this doesn't require the use of GPS. Instead, it can go places where you wouldn't want to send human beings and where other drones simply can't fly.
So this drone is flying in nuclear power plants. It's flying in underground mines. We're flying under bridges where you would be hard-pressed to send a drone that you've purchased on the consumer market.
And as far as whether or not they found Bigfoot,
we certainly couldn't make a season 2 if we found it, we'll put it that way.
But the drone's capabilities didn't come up short.
We did find some questionable evidence and some hairs and some bones and things like that with our drone.
Abigail James, KCTV5 News.
Expedition Bigfoot, by the way, is...
The reason I played that because I love that one part when he goes, well, we couldn't find Bigfoot, or they want to be a season 2.
Yeah, of course. It's all over after that. We found them. Over,
so it's kind of like taking the cat out of the bag. Like, what if they did find something, but we can't show you it because we got to do other seasons. So it kind of tells you that seasons are money. And finding the truth doesn't matter, because if you tell the truth right out the bat, who's gonna care for the other seasons? So
yeah, I'm the opposite, man. If I found a Bigfoot, I'd put in for more funding. And I'd be like, I want scientific funding. I want more money. For the research. But I would love to find one. Man, bonus cash.
Now, Connor, on the researchers you've been doing, have you guys been using drones?
Oh, we've used drones in the past, but nothing of that caliber. But when they did take that into the cave, of course, they experienced interruptions and things went wrong. But that experiment in the cave was really cool. And RPG, our good buddy Ryan Golembeski from South Florida, he is an awesome dude. He was on season 1 and actually told us a lot of the ins and outs of Expedition Bigfoot. And I got to, spend some time with Maria Mayor, the main character of Expedition Bigfoot. So yes, it is an entertainment show, but if you read between the lines, you can hear some solid truths for it too. And they are, boots on the ground in some of the locations, but they definitely alter some of the details to make it fit a narrative. But I definitely am interested in drones, but of course the creatures could hear it buzzing from long away. And if they have infrasound, I'm sure they could send shockwaves. But it is a cool tool to use. But I've heard some people say it's the only tool to use. And man, I think that drone should just take that person up by the tag and drop them off a quarry into some water and teach them quick.
Yeah. Now I agree with you, Don. Like when Bob's at my house, we watch some mountain monsters, and we know some of it is set up, but it doesn't mean what they're doing, researching, is not real. They just have
there.
They just have to. Yeah, they're there. They just have to add some stuff.
I'm going to use the word realist. Okay, I'm going to emphasize that word realist. Now, when you, and Connor will agree with me, and I guarantee you when I say this, when you're building a cage and you have power tools, generators, and you have all this heavy equipment just pounding into the freaking late hours of the night, you're expecting to catch a Bigfoot after that. Okay. It reminds me of when I was recently up in the mountains. I was doing all the deer hunt. I was doing all the running all over the place. And I'm in a truck. It's a large truck or medium size, and it has a particular sound that's a little bit more comfortable for the ears of the animals. It's a bigger engine, so it has a lower sound. It's quieter. It's a low hum. And I'm hearing these guys with their new hunting little quads. And I'm like, are you shitting me? I've been hunting since I was a little kid, and you're running these quads all up and down. Did you guys catch anything? Of course not. They could hear that thing a mile away. All the animals are gone. You guys no, I didn't get it. Man, I have been up here all day. Well, your quad it's a smaller engine, makes a higher pitch sound. And these animals hear particular, like Connor said, they can hear those sounds. The smaller the engine, the louder. It's like a dog whistle to them. So when I think of these these drones are like dog whistles to the Sasquatch. Ow, ow.
Sometimes the best research is walking quiet.
Just walk.
It's definitely useful for like scouting. You could scout locations and then follow up on the ground, and they definitely do that in the TV shows, and the best researchers do. So 100% got to use it. And beautiful shots, aerial views as well.
Yeah.
So cinematography wise, heck yeah. But down here in Florida, the canopy is so thick, it's hard to get bobbing and weaving in between. So, some places better than not, but best believe you're not sneaking up on any of these creatures. Come on, man.
Next video is by Mike from Long Island Bigfoot. It's only a 57-second video. It's kind of interesting. I'm just going to show it.
So I saw a beer can in here, and what looked like it was kind of another beer can, and what looked like it was kind of fairly open right there. And then I spotted this. It looks like a makeshift deer stand.
Hello?
And see.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that's a legit one or one that was made, but this whole tree is torn down. He had a good spot pick because there's some deer scat. Come on, buddy. We don't know who's out here with us. Look at that. And then that tree snapped into it.
Wow.
It's interesting, right? Because it's called Did Sasquatch Tear This Stand and Tree Down? You know, like did the Sasquatch know there's something that's not shouldn't be here, and decided to tear it down? I mean, nobody was there to see it personally, but no, you got to look, you gotta write things down. You know, how does a tree just fall down, get tear down?
Well, yeah, most humans go up in the tree. They sit up in the tree. They could have an aerial down. I guess there's some hunters who want to lay in the dirty ass wet ground and make a small ground shelter. Mostly that's deer, like those deer beds, animal beds, Sasquatch bed. I very rare that I see humans make a bed on the ground. I mean, they do. Yeah, good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just had me wondering, like, there's not many trees that fell down, and that one, you know, had something marked by humans. So maybe it was individually seeked out, or maybe it is like a feral person camp, and they're just building it alongside the already fallen down tree. But again, you can't find it unless you're out there looking. Would a drone have found that? That's another thing. The eyes and the spirit find so much more when your boots on the ground. You know, Sasquatch evidence comes in many forms. It's not all just the hairy man. But again, drones can find structures and stuff. But I know when you're on the ground, horizontal, you know, with your eyes open, you just see and feel so much more.
Yeah. Now here's a question I saw from the chat. Question: why do you all think paranormal groups are denying Bigfoot to PPL, yet trying to convince PPL to believe there's ghost evidence and vice versa? Well, Amber, if you watch the show before, we talk about this all the time, that we're trying to combine the communities to respect each other's work, because the biggest thing is when most people who belong in the community don't want to hear anything about the other community. They don't. Bigfoot's Bigfoot, paranormal's paranormal, UFOs. People don't want to combine. And we're always trying to tell people that you should respect other people's work, because everybody is trying to find the truth in their own community. But you should want to crisscross the information that you receive, because we said it before. What if you're hunting for ghosts, you see some red eyes? That might not be a ghost, it might be a Bigfoot. Or if you're searching for a Bigfoot, you hear noises, it might not be a noise from an animal, it might be a noise from a ghost. You should want to try to understand and listen to both sides and hear the different sounds from both sides on what they're getting from the other channels. Because maybe you can put one with the other. But there's only 5% of people in each community that respects the other communities. Most people in communities are only there for their community. That's a fact. Everybody here in this chat, you guys are that rare 5% that are willing to listen to everything.
Well, mostly I like Connor's idea. Boots on the ground. If you're boots on the ground, then you're able to go do hauntings. You can investigate hauntings. You're just excited to get out and do some stuff anyway. You got equipment to go Sasquatch hunting, generally cryptid hunting, which includes paranormal activity. Includes things that we don't know, like a ghost. Okay, they could be present. They could have a different physical form. They could be a type of cryptid. Or, as somebody also put it, some people can see and some people can't. So some people are able to see a cryptid, or they're able to somehow they can see it, and another person can't, standing right next to them. They do go hand in hand. That same person that can see a Bigfoot might be able to see a ghost.
Yep.
As in, this person can't see either one of them.
Yeah.
So they do go hand in hand. Boots on the ground first. You got to be out getting dirty first. That's why I like Connor's idea. If you're not getting dirty, man, I don't know what to tell you. You're sitting on an armchair. I don't know what you see.
I think it's a lack of experience and a lack of research and lack of caring. That's for a lot of things. You know, everybody needs to be boots on the ground, nose to the book, ears to the wall, eyes to the horizon, you know, talking to one another, speaking your truth. And then you have no doubt about it. You know, when people say, where's your proof? I say my senses tell me, because I have my feet on the ground, guys, looking forward. So when I feel it, I know it's true, or I know it's not right. So again, it's just lack of awareness at the very least, because life is paranormal. We are all supernatural. There are stories of Bigfoot carved in stone. So it's not some internet propaganda. So Mandela affected, if you think otherwise, forget about it.
Well, talking about paranormal, fuck it. Let's just start right into the paranormal. All right, now guys, you can't today's show. You can't make shit up. Okay, now if this is made up, then this is a fucking good made up. This is an Indonesian. Indonesians dressed up as ghosts to scare residents into staying home during the pandemic. You can't make shit up.
You know what movie that reminds you of, right, Eric? M. Night Shyamalan, The Village.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that.
Here we go. If it's real.
Oh shit.
If it's real, he dressed people as ghosts to scare you to stay home.
And before these ghosts scare anybody, go outside, guys. Get to your local parks. Don't let this propagate you. But
and guys,
I love it though. It's hilarious.
But Connor, this was shown on a news channel, on NBC News Channel. So it's like,
Oh yeah, they're trying to scare us into staying home. Period. They're gonna go to even greater lengths.
Oh, this is funny. No way, man. Stay home. You've got the sea. Stay home.
They want us all to be Jake Gyllenhaal Bubble Boys.
I do this to my kids. I want to do that.
I mean, it could be one big huge setup, but a news channel actually showed that. So if it's good enough for them to show, it just kind of we live in a weird world. If that's real, that scare people to stay home.
Yeah, stay home. Don't go outside. Believe everything you hear on the internet and believe everything you see in the house area. Always stare at your computer.
Those three guys who are on the bench, they were all wearing masks outside. So, yes, they should stay home. Gosh. Or they should be scaredy cats, They're scared of everything if they're wearing freaking masks outside, which, are made by China on the box.
Yeah.
When did we stop, reading the ingredients? If you're allergic to something, you don't wear it. You don't buy it. You don't eat it.
Well, agoraphobia has increased like 80% across the back of this turtle. Agoraphobia, which people don't know what that means, is you're scared to go outside. This is on the increase. It was so bad in Japan, they've got a name for it. They had in China, you had to get these counselors that are specifically trained to go into a person's house, and they're sitting in their room with garbage piled up in their computer, and they're scared to go outside.
There was just a movie about it that actually took place in Seattle called Kimi, Kimi, and it has Zoe Kravitz in it, and it's filmed during the pandemic and stuff, and that's how it plays into it. She doesn't want to leave her house, and then
my wife watched that.
I enjoyed it. I like Zoe, and Steven Soderbergh was the director. I appreciate his work. I'm totally against lockdowns and all that, but go outside. But it was an entertaining movie, and stay away from Siri and Alexa. I'm in 2022, and I've still never willingly spoke to one of those things. Who else?
I don't have one.
Who else is with me?
The only thing weird about that show was she had this, like you said, she was scared of everything, but right at the end, she wasn't scared of nothing anymore. Like she switched over that quickly. But I mean, she killed people. I guess killing people makes you get rid of that.
Yeah, that would do it.
Being killed too. Once your friends are killed.
So guys, this next one, this one's actually a normal story about a bowling alley being haunted.
Oh, cool.
Just a bowling alley. Even bowling alleys could be haunted. Even bowling alleys.
Continue our Haunted Tennessee special by taking you into a bowling alley where unusual things seem to happen.
Those who know this bowling alley also claim to know the ghost within it. See if you believe for yourself.
Is it the dude?
75 miles from Nashville in Warren County sits McMinnville, Tennessee, a town established more than 200 years ago with history and stories. Some of them ghost stories.
I feel like he's attached to this for some reason.
This is one of those stories. And to tell it, we take you to KP's McMinnville Lanes, a bowling alley
been there?
To believers, a home to a member of the spirit world.
There was one night he was really insistent about banging.
Normally, the bangs come from bowlers or the game room with its sounds and flashing lights. But when it slows down here, people leave and the lights go low. Strange things seem to happen.
And you know there's nobody here but you, and all this banging and stuff is going on. I mean, it's creepy, I won't lie.
Betty Perry owns the bowling alley and everything in it, aside from the spirit she calls Sammy. She claims her granddaughter saw the ghost in a storage room. Perry says the intercom goes off inexplicably when no one else is in the building. And perhaps the most unnerving, late at night, long after the final frame, fairly often, she'll hear this. Full disclosure, we staged that for the purpose of our story. But later during our shoot, we didn't have to. Because as Perry says,
if you spend much time here and you stay here late at night, you will believe, I promise you.
The story goes decades back. A tombstone was found underneath the floor in a back office.
Okay.
The only thing legible on it, the name Sammy. And Sammy seems to spend most of his time roaming the pit area behind the lanes.
He said he felt like he walked through
something.
Almost like a melted plastic feeling or something.
Wiley Simmons once owned the alley, and he's been bowling here since he was a kid. Simmons was our tour guide.
That's his dwelling, basically. It's just where he's comfortable with.
Into the dark depths to find Sammy.
So
I open this door.
And this is actually the mechanics room we'll be stepping in.
Here we go. Once inside, we have it lit with our equipment, but it is dark.
Just for effect, I'll turn out the light. We'll see just how dark it really is back here. Okay, so we're on our way to the pit area. It's complete.
It's just about
dark. It was a second ago.
Then mere moments later, things got weird.
So this is the area where we're thinking pins might get tossed about.
Right behind the lanes here to our right. Yeah, we're fixing around.
Knocking just a second ago.
Really?
That was my photographer, Al, who noticed a noise.
Okay, we might be hearing something. It's sort of faint.
Stunned, we point the camera down the pit to investigate.
That sounded like a pin going off, actually.
It's dark, eerie, and to us, unknown.
It's right up here in the floor in front of him.
Wow.
That wasn't here before, was it?
No, sir.
Until
my
now,
God.
The pin wasn't there, and neither was anybody else. We found what we feared. But how did it get here?
Show Betty right now. What do you think?
I think he wanted you to know he was here. I'll be honest.
When the machines are off, the pins are held in two places, high up in the machine or deep inside of it. They should not move.
But you're foot and a half, 2 foot, yeah.
Here, there's a whole lot of machinery getting in the way. There's no way it's just going to come out unless, I say, someone or something physically picks it out, goes and tosses it down the way right there.
And that sound right there, I've heard being in here at night by myself, and it sounds like it does exactly that.
So is that what we heard? Was Sammy behind the lanes with us, warning us he was close by? It felt like it.
Because it's late at night, I'm a little more cautious, squirmish, suspicious.
But never felt threatened anyway, never felt, I could get hurt, never, none of that.
Before we leave, maybe another sign.
Sammy, one more for good measure. It'd be good, wouldn't it?
He's probably laughing at us now.
Maybe laughing, hopefully smiling, and pleased by our visit. Because if he's here, these hallways belonged to Sammy long before any business owner. We were his guests for his game at his bowling alley.
We've added more behind-the-scenes video on our website.
You know, one thing I can't believe that something picked up the thing and threw it because there's machines. What runs machines? A lot of power, a lot of electricity. And Ghost needs electricity and power to have the strength to just, throw something. So there's power there. There's electricity.
Yeah.
I mean, so
I was expecting to see those two guys in sheets to like be in a corner somewhere, just like wrapped up in a throw it now and sit in the corner. I don't know. I was expecting to see those guys so bad in the corner somewhere. Shit, go back inside. No, that's cool. I like that.
Has anybody in the chat been in Tennessee? Have any guys been to that bowling alley? Hey, Connor, I don't know how far Tennessee's from you, but you might have to check out that. I wonder if they do, because of that news, that people do ghost walks at night.
Of course they do.
Or paranormal researchers now.
I'm sure they do. Places like that have abundant energy. People think of like haunted places as scary trauma and stuff. And yes, that definitely has residual hauntings as well. But all these amusement parks and things like, bowling alleys and baseball fields, all the joy and cheers and literally passionate energy straight from the heart and the kids and the soul and the love of the parents and the love of the game, that has so much residual feelings to it.
Emotion.
And man, yeah, places like that always stay alive forever. And I actually worked at Kindle Lanes right here in the Panhandle before it was damaged and destroyed by Hurricane Michael. But I wrote a chapter about all the little scary stories in my bowling alley. Because there was a laser tag place, a pickleball court. Half of it was abandoned. They were trying to turn it into a Publix. So it's as big as a supermarket, just all blacked out. And then you have me in there just trying to get out before, the time I'm scheduled to. And, it was really crazy. But a lot of stuff for Kindle Lanes happened behind Kindle Lanes because it was right by a river and a den and they say a burial ground. But yeah, man, the amusement centers and even Disney and Cedar Point and Kings Island, all these places with such love, they stay forever. It's eternal energy, eternal light. So, maybe one day. So 40 miles from Nashville, so about 6 hours away. Forest of Monsters. Rick, if you're watching now, go check it out. And I also want to say I have filmed a perfect game before. My buddy Jay was bowling at 300, and I filmed the last one. So these eyes, they know what magic looks like. I've seen Michael Jordan play, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, J. Cole, Lil Wayne. I've heard Pink Floyd like I was there, but I was just on a lot of LSD. But yes, you have to set yourself up to be ready to see magic. And I feel like all these afternoons and nights we share definitely get us ready for it. It's a rite of passage.
Well, let's find out what Donald Trump knows about UFOs.
You're in a...
All right. This next one is called Israel's former space security chief claims aliens exist, and Trump knows about it. So this is when Donald Trump was president. Since today's President's Day, I wanted to have some video about a president. So why not with aliens and UFOs? So let's find out what the hell they're talking about.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains this one.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years, Hayam Eshed, is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives. Now, this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the US Armed Forces. Well, we did ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded to the NBC News request, and I wonder if they ever will. Alison.
So, Bob,
nice.
So, Bob, what do you think of that Trump knows about these aliens?
Yeah, well, he also knows about a lot of things. He gave Elon Musk a lot of money to put a car into outer space. Yeah, that did not explode in any way or catch fire, but it's just magically floating towards Mars. But regardless of that and the lack of fucking existing science, and that thing would not be able to be in the pressures of space. Other than that, yeah, I believe everything they say. Everything they say. The Galactic Federation has been a buzzword since the 70s, man. And so, do I believe in interdimensional? Fuck yes. Do I believe in going through certain other methods of going through things? Fuck yes. Do I believe in no, I worked at a museum. I worked at an aerospace museum, and I can tell you guys right now, a lot of that shit's full of bullshit. But I don't believe him as far as I can spit. Right there. No, he's full of shit. This guy come out of nowhere. I've looked at, I did the research on this guy. I know all the hard hitters in the community. Where did he come from? All of a sudden he exists. He's Israelis. Israelis what? But don't forget, Eric, magically.
Squatch in South Florida wrote, "You don't create a new branch of military for no reason."
Well, yeah. Well, I've got people on military. I've got people on the inside. People don't even know what NASA is. When I worked with them. Okay, so I worked in Smithsonian. I worked in DC. I can tell you guys, I always ask people, give me one question. What is NASA to you? And they're like, well, it's a building with all these eggheads. And I go, no. NASA is a conglomerate of hundreds of buildings all over the back of the turtle. It's not one facility. It's multiple, and not one of them know what the other ones are doing. I went camping and hung out and hiking with the guy who was in charge of funding them, the individual groups, and he had a hard time even having a meeting because not one of them know what the other one's doing. That's how they're like, what are you doing again? You're Velcro, and what are you doing? Everybody just wants money, but nobody can give you the reasons why. Bullshit. Israeli all of a sudden has a space force themselves that nobody knows. They put something on the moon. It was bear shit. It's called bear shit, which actually is Hebrew for in the beginning, which actually turned up in the Bible, which people are having a Mandela effect moment with that one. I don't remember a bear shit in the Bible. Anyway, it means in the beginning, they put this Israelis Space Force put this thing on the moon. I go, when did this happen? I work at the Aerospace Museum. I don't have one artifact, one bit of information. Guys, this is not me speculating. This is a fact. Nothing from fucking Israel with a space. They don't have any space industry. All of a sudden they do.
Yeah.
And this guy, who the hell is this guy? I never heard of him. Anyway, it's another propaganda. It's all fake. It's along with Tom DeLonge and the rest of them.
I remember we did a show about the bear shit on the moon, and we try to raise money to donate to NASA if I took a shit in a bag if they would send that to the moon. But we didn't get enough donations to be able to send
because
my poop in the moon.
There is a problem because on the moon there are lots of bags of human waste. There seems to be a problem with that on the moon right now. That is in the record. Eric's not joking. I'm like, why? When is there a problem with human species on the moon? What is this, man? Spitting bullshit. I don't know. You guys.
When I hear Mars, I think of the big map of Mars being an island way outside of the ice wall, an extraterrestrial, all the extra terra, the land beyond the poles. So I don't think it's light years away. I think it's thousands of miles that way, thousands of miles this way. Most of that was very silly, but some of it you could read in between the lines. Again, there definitely is deities and extraterrestrials and elementals out there, but it's not the way they paint it in these movies. You know, it is Hollywood propaganda. And if there is any bags of poop, let's hope Matt Damon, the Martian, is stuck so he can make some vegetables. But yeah, Elon Musk, you know, come on, man.
At the end of the day, it's about funding. They want funding. It's a good story to get funding. It's all it is. But guys, I got some interesting stuff in the Mandela. I put some stuff in the Mandela effect segment that's maybe it's not, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Trust me. You guys want to stick around for this. Truly. Trust me.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan never told you what happened to your father.
He told me enough. He told me you killed him.
Luke, I am your father.
Guys, what I'm about to show you is another one that you can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up. This was on my friend's channel, Hobbs. Good guy, been with this channel since the beginning. And
man. Old man.
This is what it's called. Hobbs. Elderly lady trampled by police horse in the UK. But just hold on. I'm gonna stop.
This is Canada.
Here's a woman just doing her protest, which everybody has the right to protest, saying love and peace, which is good words. Nothing wrong with this, but wait till you see what happens when the horse comes in.
Here comes the horses. They have the horses coming.
Watch what happens to her.
Hey, stand down! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Look what you did! Look what you did to her! Look what you.
Okay, so you guys saw that about the horse knocking her down. Watch this news. Watch what they say. I'm telling you, you saw on camera. Here we go. You can't make this shit up.
Stay peaceful! Shame on you guys! You just trampled a walker!
Because there was a false report on American news that a woman was trampled by a horse yesterday. That did not happen. That was confirmed by both police and EMS. Because there was a false report on American news that a woman was trampled by a horse yesterday. That did not happen. That was confirmed by both police and EMS.
That has to be a Mandela effect because you just saw the woman get trampled by a horse, but according to the news, it never happened.
My God, it never actually happened.
Effect, right?
Must be a Mandela effect. It never happened. No, never.
Let's go back to that part.
Hey, stand down! Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness!
Holy shit!
It must be a Mandela effect. It must have never happened.
It never happened.
It never happened.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know.
It's a.
And how do you, after that, how do you get that?
News that a woman was trampled by a horse yesterday. That did not happen. That was confirmed by both police and EMS. Because there was a false report on American news that a woman was trampled by a horse yesterday.
Well, apparently that's a Mandela effect. It never happened.
She's one of them. There's an unusual pattern. It's kind of interesting. It's on the same subject of these journalists they've got their eyes. They got two eyes. One of them is always different from the other. They'll blink. Everybody biologically has a certain thing. It's in your limbic system that allows you to. You don't control it. You don't control your eye blinking. So it's on the same pattern. Your both eyes blink at the same time. It's an unusual pattern. You bring this up that these I'm watching them and I'm noticing that one eye blinks off from the other many of time on these at something in their brain, something's not right. Yeah. That's they don't do it. You don't do it that way. If you watch your face, it does that.
Let me just
real quick, guys. Yeah, we're 25 months into this. Like, if you guys are surprised by that footage, then wake the F up. Like seriously, guys. Like that is because of the mandates, you know. And honestly, I support the protesters a bazillion % in that one. That woman should have stepped back a little bit, but they did trample her. She should have stepped out the way, but she took the fall for the bigger purpose. But they have lied completely. And again, guys, everybody's compliance is why they are trampling us in the street. So stand tall with your community, a bazillion %. Man, we're 25 months into this.
And guys, I know it's not a real Mandela effect. I just put it on there.
Yeah, we're playing.
Using it as showing you that you can't always believe what the news tell you. Now, Connor's right.
And those same newscasters are telling you that all about NASA. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. She could have been pushed from behind, pushed to the horse, but it did happen.
Oh yeah. They were saying hold the line, and you know, big crowds get pushed up. You know, it was part of it, but they did trample her. They didn't help her, and then they lied about it. But if anybody is surprised, they've been lying this whole time about everything.
That's the thing. Nobody helped. No cops, no person picked her up to get her ambulance.
Also, watch their eyes. Watch their eyes. One eye is lazy on all of these casters, which is telling me the opposite side of the brain is not functioning and one side is functioning. That means you have two independent functioning parts of their brain. Now I'm seeing them as a scientist. There's two different. They would have. It's impossible. That means you have two separate functioning parts of their brain going off at the same time, and they're independent of each other. So one eye will blink and the other one will, and one will be drooped and one will be bright. It's like that's two separate. Those are almost two separate entities. It's almost as if they're possessed. I'm just saying, everybody, don't be going. It is a sign of possession. Understand that. And I see this with the president. I see this with a lot of people in high society. I've seen the double eye thing. I'm just saying, I want everybody out there to just start looking for that. And you see that, you're going to say, holy fuck, Bob was right. That requires two different modes of thought at the same time. That's possession.
Now, I do have another video.
Yes.
It was sent to me. This is another weird one that I'm not going to sit here and say this is a Mandela effect or not. But I said, okay, I'm going to show it and let people decide.
Yeah, you decide.
A couple people said this video is called "New Video Emerges of an Explosion in China." There was an explosion in Tianjin, China, 3 days after massive blast first rocked the city. Some people said they don't remember this at all. They just saw this a week ago, and they want to know what do I think of it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what I think of it. It's one of those hard ones. But I want to know, Bob, when you see this, do you remember this, or can this just come out of nowhere? So let me show you this video.
New explosions in Tianjin, China today, 3 days after massive blasts first rocked that city. And as Jonathan Vigliotti reports, they came as new video emerged from the first moments after the disaster.
Dash cam video from inside a car shows just how far-reaching Wednesday's explosions were. The driver backs up after the first blast, but not fast enough to escape the second devastating blow. In seconds, a toxic brew of dust, smoke, and falling debris blanketed a nearly 2-mile radius of the Chinese port city of Tianjin.
When was this?
2015.
Oh my God!
Today, the blast zone was blocked off, and for good reason. Out of nowhere, cars that were destroyed by the explosions 3 days ago caught fire again. State-run media reports the warehouse was a depository for dangerous chemicals, including sodium cyanide, a deadly substance that becomes combustible on contact with water. It's believed firefighters may have triggered the blast after responding to a small fire at the warehouse and dousing the flames. Tensions flared as families demanded answers outside a government meeting. I haven't had any contact with my son, said this father of a firefighter surrounded by other angry relatives. More than 100 people were killed, many of them firemen. Wow. There are miracles among the rubble. This man was found alive today after spending 3 days clinging to a pole inside a shipping container. "We are here to save you. Please let go," said rescuers. More than 700 people have been injured, but it's still unclear how many more are still missing and the long-term health concerns for those living nearby. State-run media is reporting the warehouse was storing more than 700 tons of sodium cyanide. That's 70 times more than it should have been holding. Jim, China's president said the tragedy exposed severe problems in the country's work safety sector that must immediately be addressed.
Jonathan Vigliotti, thank you.
So the question was sent to me was,
never seen that.
Do I remember this in 2015?
No.
I mean, unfortunately, I don't remember that.
No.
I would think that story would be everywhere, and maybe it was. I haven't seen it, so I was just curious with you, Bob, Connor.
No.
Do any of you remember that story in 2015? Because that's a pretty big explosion. That's
a big explosion.
That's a global type of news story.
It's another one of them because we also had another one of those. I think it was in the Middle East.
Yes.
I don't want to give the
Right. Bob,
it's the same.
That's what I was getting at. That is everywhere, but you think the one in China would be too?
And it's also on the dock. It's also in a storage container. It's unique. It's happened over there. It's happened over there, and it's the same layout, same thing on the dock in a specific storage container for specific chemicals. We're holding on to something. Now, if someone were to ask me, I'd give them an idea. Well, it could be a type of antimatter that people are playing around with within time and trying to store and practice, and China's playing and trying to store the same material that they try to over there in the Middle East, and it's just you can't store certain things under certain conditions, and these explosions are happening. So it's not the first time, but no, did not happen. Don't remember that. I would know, man. Believe me, I'd know. But no, I didn't. That's new. A lot of new fucking shifts. We have a lot of shifts, guys. A lot of new shit.
Let's see if Connor remembers anything like that.
Yeah.
I don't really remember it specifically. I do remember the more recent explosion, of course. Maybe I saw it on like Live Leak or something. But like Bob said, it follows the same formula as a lot of these things. And so I think it's either an attack, a false flag, or some kind of just super distraction. Like it is an actual explosion that killed, 173 people, but it's a bigger distraction of something bigger, same thing with New York, everything, there's different levels to it. So again, just read in between the lines. But yeah, it's very interesting that sometimes it's swept under the rug. Sometimes it's natural, viral news. And then sometimes it's forced upon us and it's fabricated and it's the same footage as, 4 years before that. So again, you just have to feel each situation out the way it is.
Each time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. What does it say? Eric, did you know in China and Africa, they televise commercials about feeling hungry kids in America? Same ones we see about the countries. Guess who owns the foundation?
What is it? Oh, I can already imagine who it is.
Bill Gates, Bob Saget, or the Clintons.
Wow. Yeah, or the Clintons, which is the biggest cartel when it comes to those kind of things. Yeah.
And, people have been threatened by the government for looking to Sasquatch. They've known as long time.
Well, of course. They know what it is. Yeah. They know. They know. They know about the hominid creature.
At the end of the day,
they don't want people to know about that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad that we gotta, we get threatened, governments and all that. But within our own communities, there's people in these communities that is trying to take you down. Get your Reddit page suspended. Get this. It's just it's like I can't believe the kind of world we're living in that you can't trust no one. You can't even trust the people beside you. I trust you two. I trust you two.
Yeah,
guys. But,
I trust you guys. I have a handful of people, very small handful of people I can trust at the moment. That's it. Everybody else, they're under influence of whatever this living universe is putting into people, which could be the alien invasion that they're talking about. There's no alien invasion. Yeah, fuck, there's not. Are you kidding me? Yes, there is. It's a whole different vibrational thingy, but yeah.
This is what's going on for the next 2 days, just so anybody knows, just curious. I'm going to try to make a video tonight for tomorrow because my son's getting married tomorrow.
Oh, God.
So he's getting married tomorrow. So either two things. If I don't have time to make a video tonight, I'm probably going to rebroadcast the very first interview we ever done with Connor. For a lot of you who might not have seen it, the very first one ever that we ever met, we met Connor for the first time. So if I can't make a video tonight, I'll show that tomorrow. But then Wednesday, we're going to have Amber Paraworld on. We're going to have a few people from the chat pot shop, the paranormal shop. We're going to do a paranormal panel on Wednesday night.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a big, huge paranormal panel. If anybody else belongs in the paranormal community channel and all that, might want to jump on, send me an email. I'll send you a link. Beyond that, I just don't put links out in the chat for everybody to jump on because then you get way too many people and you can't even have a conversation. So if you want to be part of it, just send me an email and I'll see if I can put you part of it because too many people is not as fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have too many where nobody gets their 2 cents in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, I have a big week ahead. Tomorrow, I'm going to be on the second half of Amber's Paraworld show. She is interviewing the West Virginia Bigfoot Museum owner. So I'm really pumped to link up with Squatch in South Florida and talk to him about the Grassman and the West Virginia Yahoo and the Snallygaster and Mothman and all the creatures that I grew up with. So it's going to be a really cool combination of Appalachia and swamps. And then Wednesday, we have our awesome show with the paranormal panel. I'm going to, try to chill back as much as I can and let freaking Spooky Morales show you guys around the world and back. I'm going to be really excited for just seeing all the combinations of energy. But Thursday, guys, I'm really excited too for I'm going to be on the UFO Garage with the fellas that do Topless Tuesday, but this one's Thursday, so we're going to have to just blow the top off the freaking dome or something. But I'm just really pumped, and then I have a really cool urban exploring adventure scheduled for Wednesday. It's a bucket list for me, so hopefully we're able to get in, get some footage, get out, make our mark of peacefulness and tranquility, and then you guys will hopefully see the footage one day. But you know, we're gonna have to say this is not Bigfoot Anonymous exploring this place right there at the beginning of the video. It'll be a nice disclaimer, but it is a mecca here in the Panhandle, and I'm just super excited, and I'm being all secretive because I don't want the po waiting for me there. But really, really pumped. And of course, I go live on TikTok every single day. I had 4,500 viewers yesterday in less than an hour. So I don't know who else is taking, you know, thousands of people along, casting footprints, showing them structures, listening for sounds. Point me in their direction if they are, though, because that's my type of people. That's my type of tribe. Also, be ready for From Fear to Understanding, my film that I'm doing with Squatch in South Florida and also Tyler Howell Outdoors. It's a Bigfoot documentary of our footage from South Florida, Central Florida, and up to the Panhandle, going after these cabbage men, the rod bender, the stump jumper, and all these wild things in between. But yeah, guys, just keep the vibes high and ride as fast as you can under control.
And let's thank Danny for putting everybody's link in the chat. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Chat. He put Bigfoot Anon on there. And I put the link on here for tomorrow's show. Amber's doing the Bigfoot Museum. Like, she's a paranormal channel, but she's talking to the Bigfoot. That's support. That's connections. That's the people we need to support. People are willing to do stuff that's outside their community, even though she's part of every community. But she has a paranormal word in her title, and she's doing a Bigfoot museum. That's the kind of stuff that we need to support.
It all combines. Farming, treasure hunting, metal detecting, Mandela effects, Illuminati conspiracies. Like, if you're under this sky, it is all connected. So again, all the people that you meet, just be loud and proud with your beliefs, because you might enlighten somebody, or you might spark something or some kind of bravery out of somebody, and you'll hear a story that brings you closer to who you are. But if you hold yourself back, you'll never get your answers. So we're all working on that, you know, even as much as out my shell I still, you know, get a little nervous once in a while, but you got to remind yourself, you know, break free. You live to see another day. Once you fall asleep, everything's cleared, you know?
And there's a link for Danny's videos he put up just recently. My Sasquatch Saturday show. So beyond that, guys, I hope you enjoyed today. Hope you guys had fun. And if I don't see you guys live tomorrow, definitely got to come in Wednesday night. It's gonna be a paranormal world. Beyond that, see you guys next time.